Regardless of what you say, I'm getting a divorce. The luggage was sent yesterday, so it should arrive today or tomorrow. I'll be living with my affair partner. Is 5 cents sufficient as compensation?
Affair partner. Does that mean you were cheating?
That's what I'm saying. So please leave.
Well, I'm okay with it, but
Huh?
the luggage my husband sent to our home keeps arriving. Most of it consists of young women's clothing, accessories, and fashion-related items. There are even some branded bags. Presumably, my husband purchased these items. My name is Mia. I'm 28 years old and work for a reputed company. I belong to the secretarial department and serve as the secretary to the managing director, who happens to be the president's son. Every day, I diligently handle my work. Then one day, out of the blue, the managing director proposed to me. Things progressed smoothly, and we decided to get married that fall. My husband's name is Michael. He enthusiastically says,
Once we're married, let's have lots of children.
I respond, You're getting ahead of yourself. He insists.
Our kids alone could form a baseball team.
I playfully reply, Oh, Michael. Spare me. And so, Michael is quite passionate about starting a family. However, I still find Michael, who is the same age as me, a bit childish at times. Secretly, I've been using contraception. While having many children might be fun, I know it'll be exhausting for me. So, even if we have several kids, I plan to limit it to 3, with no more than a 2-year gap between births. Michael has been unusually swift in his promotion to the senior managing director since our marriage, and there are high expectations within the company that he might become the next president. The company where I used to work had Michael's father as the president at that time. My father-in-law is truly a wonderful person, and now he has become the chairman. When Michael was the managing director, I also had interactions with him as I worked in the secretary's department.
Since you left your position as a secretary, our secretarial office has been short-staffed. We're in a bind.
Well, Dad, anyone can handle my job.
That's true. Well, I'm delighted that you married my son. It's a significant loss for the company.
Flattery won't change anything, Dad. However, my father-in-law's words seem to hold some truth, as the secretarial department is always bustling. The new secretary who replaced me after I resigned is a young woman with a seemingly sole talent for being cute. I heard this from my father-in-law. Hey, is your new secretary doing well?
Oh, she's doing her best in her own way. It's a work in progress.
I also subtly asked my husband out of curiosity, and he seems to be watching over her warmly. Well, Michael is kind to me, and it seems stress-free, so maybe it's fine. Or so I thought, but Michael's workload has increased significantly since his promotion, and he's gradually become more harsh with me. It's likely due to the added responsibilities, and perhaps this is where my efforts truly matter. After all, as a wife who entered into marriage, supporting my husband is my role. I had put thoughts of having a baby on hold. On that day, Michael seemed a bit moody.
Listen, I won't need a packed lunch from now on.
Huh? Why?
The senior managing director finds it embarrassing to have a packed lunch. I'll be eating out with colleagues from now on.
I see. Understood.
What's the problem? Worried about lunch expenses?
I never said that.
Anyway, that's how it is. you don't need to make lunch anymore.
His words felt somewhat disheartening. I had been doing my best, considering nutritional balance for Michael. But I suppose he has his own social obligations. So, starting the next day, I stopped making packed lunches. And then, he started finding fault with me for other things. The cleaning wasn't up to par, there were wrinkles in the laundry, and still no children. I believe I've been thorough with both cleaning and laundry, but it seems not to have reached him. I often wondered what could be the cause of Michael's irritation, but no matter how much I thought, I couldn't pinpoint anything. Perhaps there's something I'm not aware of. Days of inner turmoil continued. I even consulted my mother-in-law. Like my father-in-law, she treats me well.
So, what's the consultation about? Is something wrong?
Well, Michael seems a bit off lately, and I can't figure out why.
I see. Perhaps I was too lenient in raising him. I apologize. He can be quite selfish.
No, he's an adult now, so it's not your responsibility.
If I get the chance, I'll talk to him and make sure he doesn't trouble you.
That's okay. It might be a marital issue, so I'll find the right time to ask him.
Really? Are you sure? If anything happens, feel free to tell me anytime.
Thank you. In the end, I returned home without seeking any help from my mother-in-law. But I worried that if Michael found out I'd confided in her, he might sulk again. So, I think this was for the best. Just when I thought that way, something unexpected happened. My husband was assigned to a client company, making it difficult for him to commute from home. So, he embarked on a solo assignment for about a month. Honestly, I felt a bit relieved because dealing with my husband's moods every day had been quite taxing. Despite not being a drinker, he started consuming alcohol and spouting hurtful words or nitpicking at my household chores. The day after drinking, he'd struggle to wake up in the morning, even missing work. It seemed like he was losing his professional edge. Perhaps this change of environment would be good for him too. I hope it provides a refreshing break, and he returns to being the kind husband he used to be. Around 2.5 weeks after my husband's departure, something else happened. Maybe I let my guard down due to his absence, but my health deteriorated. Feeling feverish, I visited my regular doctor. To my surprise, I received unexpected news. I was pregnant. The thought of having a baby genuinely made me happy. Perhaps this could be the catalyst for Michael to become a doting father. It felt as though this little one had brought some happiness into our home. Just as I was contemplating whether to inform my husband about the pregnancy, I realized he would be returning in another 2 weeks. Rather than communicating through calls or emails, I wanted to see his face and share our joy in person. So, I decided to wait for his return. However, I desperately needed to confide in someone. I chose to share the truth with my in-laws, keeping it confidential. Given that they would soon become grandparents for the first time, they were genuinely thrilled and concerned about my well-being. My mother-in-law, having previously discussed my husband's recent moodiness, assured me that she would keep an eye on him. As the anticipated homecoming drew near, my husband unexpectedly extended his stay, leaving me without communication for several days. Something felt off. Trusting my intuition, I called his workplace. I have an urgent matter. Could I speak to my husband? The office staff replied.
The Senior Managing Director Smith is already back at his company.
Does that mean his assignment has ended?
Yes, but... Is everything okay?
Caught off guard, I quickly improvised. Oh, how embarrassing. I misunderstood. I apologize. Everything is fine. What should I do? Where is he now? No response. And I'm worried. Consulting my father-in-law or mother-in-law would likely escalate the situation. Besides, being pregnant, I wanted to avoid emotional instability. So, I decided to try contacting my husband's cell phone once more. To my surprise, after days of silence, he suddenly called the next day. Startled, I answered the phone promptly. Michael? Where are you right now?
Anywhere is fine. I called because you contacted me.
Anywhere is not fine. What on earth is happening?
I want a divorce.
What? I was left speechless by the unexpected divorce announcement. And then my husband added more surprising words.
Regardless of what you say, I'm getting a divorce. The luggage was sent yesterday, so it should arrive today or tomorrow. I'll be living with my affair partner. Is 5 cents sufficient as compensation?
Affair partner. Does that mean you were cheating?
That's what I'm saying. So please leave.
Each word felt like a blow to my heart, and tears welled up. My husband conveyed only what was necessary and abruptly hung up the phone. I immediately tried calling back, but it seemed he had disconnected. I am filled with a mix of frustration and sorrow. From the outside, our marriage might have seemed like a marriage into wealth, but I've put in my own efforts. I've worked hard and endured. Yet, this outcome feels incredibly unfair. And now my husband plans to marry his affair partner, asking me to leave. The proposed compensation? Just 5 cents. An almost non-existent amount. And I am carrying my husband's child. There's no way such treatment can be justified. I felt a simmering anger rise within me. In moments like these, I have no one I can truly confide in. My parents both passed away in an accident the year I started working, and I have no siblings. While I do have friends, I can't think of a close friend who would bear my family's shame with me. So, I decided to contemplate revenge against my husband on my own. However, as for finding an ally, I had someone in mind. Hello?
Mia? Michael has returned, hasn't he? How is he? Is he in a good mood?
My mother-in-law reached out the next day, expressing concern. It seemed that my husband hadn't informed his parents about the situation. Perhaps he was too preoccupied with his new love interest. Mom. I hesitated.
What's wrong? Did something happen? Did he do something?
Despite feeling uneasy, I decided to confide in my in-laws about everything. The hurtful words and snide remarks I've endured. His view of me solely as a childbearing entity. And the ultimate blow, the sudden divorce announcement without any communication from his assignment location. My mother-in-law appeared surprised but offered comforting words.
I'm sorry, Mia.
You don't need to apologize, Mom.
Thank you for telling me. I'll discuss this thoroughly with my husband.
But if you do that, Michael's position at work.
What does that matter? After treating you so poorly?
My tears welled up in response to my mother-in-law's kindness. As I sobbed into the phone, she gently reassured me.
Mia, your well-being is our utmost priority, both for my husband and me.
But Michael's parents are yours.
Doing something so cruel, whether as a son or a parent, is unacceptable. Mia, please focus on having a healthy, happy baby.
But knowingly having a child while going through a divorce.
Trust us on this. Lean on us.
It seemed my mother-in-law had a plan. Given that I had no one else to turn to practically, I decided to follow her advice. The packages my husband sent to our home kept arriving. Most of them contained young women's clothing, accessories, and fashion-related items. There were even branded bags. Presumably, my husband had purchased these items. The influx of packages made our home feel cramped. Curious about the situation, my mother-in-law visited and was surprised. Despite my initial reluctance to rely on my in-laws without informing my husband, I decided that since I was pregnant and would only stay briefly, it was acceptable to seek their help. According to what I heard from my in-laws, my husband hasn't contacted them or shown up at work. He's apparently using up his paid leave days. My father-in-law is furious that his son isn't communicating.
As a professional and as a human being, he's a disgrace.
Dad, please don't scold him without hearing the whole story.
But what he's doing isn't morally acceptable.
That's true. I never thought he'd be like this.
And so, I decided to put into action the secret plan my in-laws had shared with me. One day, I contacted my husband, saying I had an important matter to discuss about the divorce. Falling right into the trap, he called me back with a blocked number.
Well, have you submitted the divorce papers I sent?
Not yet.
Then what's this important matter? Will you agree to the divorce?
If you accept certain conditions.
What's with the high and mighty attitude? Are you saying you can't survive without my income? And we agreed on 5 cents for alimony, right?
We never made such an agreement. There's no written confirmation.
Mom? Why?
Your dad is here too. Should I switch the call?
I had the phone on speaker. The conversation was an open book to my in-laws. My father-in-law finally spoke up.
I got you fired from your job. And that secretary, Sophia, too.
Wait a minute, Dad! You can't just spring this on me.
Mia had something even worse suddenly dropped on her. This is nothing.
You don't have to go that far. I'm wondering what I should do from now on.
Think about Mia. She's been through worse.
Despite feeling embarrassed by my husband's confusion, I interjected.
I won't give you a single cent.
Well, is that acceptable? I'm fine, but...
Huh?
I'm pregnant.
I never heard about that.
But there was no right moment to tell you.
But you won't get any alimony.
That's because there's no record of it. If we fight, I'll win.
No, I didn't know.
You never gave me a chance to tell you. I knew about my pregnancy during your assignment.
This is...
You're already jobless. And that's not all. You'll pay Mia and the child proper alimony and child support. Your severance pay is a drop in the bucket, but you'll figure out the rest.
Dad, I messed up. I'll break up with Sophia and take care of Mia and the child. Just don't fire me.
It's too late. I'm disappointed in you. Go start fresh with your new woman. Mia will stay with us for a while. If you want to come back, you can.
Stay with you? Mia?
Mia has nowhere else to go. Besides, she's been treated horribly by her own husband. We'll take care of her.
Mia won't be comfortable here either. So once you've paid her enough, she can leave.
Michael, that's how it is.
You're the one who put these ideas in their head.
This is outrageous. I haven't done anything. Your parents have been considerate of me and the baby.
Ugh.
Clearly devastated, my husband hung up the phone without saying another word. A few days ago, I received the divorce papers from my husband and had my in-laws sign as witnesses. I've already submitted them. It's heartwarming to see my in-laws, who should technically be strangers, stand by my side. My ex-husband hasn't contacted me, and I've entered the final month of my pregnancy. Although alimony and child support haven't arrived, my former in-laws have stepped in to cover those expenses. They assured me that they'll collect the owed amount from Michael. I gave birth to a healthy baby boy a little earlier than the due date. He closely resembles my ex-husband, and even my former in-laws seem convinced that he is Michael's child. Despite the unconventional circumstances, we've been living this way for 3 years now. Watching our son grow happily day by day brings us immense joy. One day, Michael contacted his parents. When they spoke, it turned out that Michael had been rejected by Sophia, desperate to see our child. Since then, he'd lost a significant portion of his severance pay and was living a precarious life akin to a part-time worker. For someone who had grown up in comfort, this lifestyle had become unbearable. Essentially, he was reaching out to his father for financial help. My former father-in-law swiftly shut down Michael, insisting that he repay the money owed to me. However, Michael lacked the courage to face the situation head-on. Eventually, my former father-in-law relented, allowing Michael to return to the company, starting from the bottom, with the condition that he support me. Fast forward 4 years. Michael's child support payments have finally stabilized, but his current job doesn't leave much room for financial flexibility. He works during the day and takes on night shifts. Interestingly, my former in-laws and I have legally adopted each other, making my son their official grandchild. In exchange, they've effectively severed the parent-child relationship with Michael, although it doesn't alter the official records. My parents are overjoyed, and next year, when our son enters first grade, they're enthusiastically choosing school supplies such as shoes, bags, and notebooks. Once our son starts school, I plan to actively seek employment and contribute to society. I can't rely on my parents forever. Besides, I feel more suited to working outside the home than being a stay-at-home mom. While I might still lean on my parents a little, I'm determined to live as a single mother with my son. I will never let my son become like my ex-husband, who was a scoundrel. That's how strongly I feel.
How did you find this story? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time in our next video.